The cost of carrying a calling in the end times when you were chosen. The world didn't hear it, but your spirit did. Now, the weight of that calling in these end times is pressing down on you. Can you feel it? This revelation emerged during a moment of intense stillness, a period of sacred silence where the noise of the world faded and the voice of truth rang clear. The world stands at a precipice of confusion and darkness, and those drafted by God, knowingly or unknowingly, are awakening to the profound weight of their callings. In these end times, the cost of carrying a calling is immense. The download, carrying the calling, means carrying the cross. This journey is not for the faint of heart. You may find yourself in a state of isolation, a necessary wilderness where God prunes and refines you. The path may be fraught with internal battles against doubt and fear, and external misunderstandings as peers fail to grasp your divine assignment. In these moments of spiritual warfare, remember, you weren't rejected, you were hidden. Like David in the cave and Jesus in the wilderness, God shields you from the temporal noise, preparing you for a greater destiny. Your solitude is sanctified. It is here that your resilience is forged. Remember, some don't want deliverance. They just want denial with Wi-Fi. As you walk this sacred path, resist the urge to chase comfort or validation from a world that often prefers convenience over truth. Carrying a calling in these times is a dichotomy of burden and privilege, pushing you beyond human limits while linking you closer to the divine. Embrace the misunderstanding. Wear the isolation like armor. For God did not choose you for the absence of adversity. He chose you because you wouldn't fold. The system you navigate is mutable. The system never dies. IT just mutates. Stand firm, for you have been equipped for such a time as this. Don't click away yet, because this is the part the enemy doesn't want you to hear. Coming to terms with the gravity of your life's calling isn't easy. It wasn't easy for the great men and women throughout history either. Yet, they understood a profound truth. It is better to die empty than to live with regrets. Each of them reached a moment where they recognized the weight of their purpose, and, despite the difficulty, they chose to move forward. When you consecrate yourself before the Lord, the download you receive will be intense. Its magnitude will engulf any small-minded thoughts you had about the trajectory of your life. This divine revelation will strike like a lightning bolt, illuminating the path God has destined for you, unveiling plans you never imagined. This is what God meant when He said He has plans for us, plans to prosper us. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. When He whispered these promises in Scripture, they were not mere platitudes. They were affirmations, declarations meant to ignite a fire within your soul, propelling you toward your unique destiny. The call of purpose. I believe that everyone listening to this message has a purpose and a path that God has been whispering to us since we were children. Remember those moments of clarity in your youth, the innocent dreams untouched by the cynicism of the world? Those were sacred echoes, divine reminders that your life is not a mere accident, but an intentional tapestry woven with potential and love. But understand this, in this age, distraction abounds, and many have deviated, seeking their own paths rather than the purposes God ordained for them. We must graduate from the high school mentality of thinking that we'll all hold hands and sing Kumbaya as we waltz naively into the sunset. The truth is, some people aren't willing to think about life as deeply as you do. They're content living in the superficial, afraid to plunge into the depths of their own souls. The choice of what to do with their thoughts, potential, and talents rests solely with them. Your journey of consecration, my urging, is simple yet profound. Make sure that when your head hits the pillow at night, you're not plagued by regrets of unrealized potential or dreams left on the table. That which God has whispered into your spirit is sacred. Honor it with action and with faith. In these times of introspection, allow God's voice to rise above the noise. Embrace the quiet moments and listen intently. Let your doubts and hesitations fall away as you focus on the next step before you, infused with confidence that springs from divine guidance. Carrying the calling means carrying the cross. The path is neither easy nor straightforward. There will be hardships, moments of loneliness, and grappling with the internal and external pressures that seek to steal your resolve. But within this crucible, your spirit is refined, your faith emerges more brilliant, and your purpose stronger. It's about to make sense. Keep listening. Building a life with no regrets, pursue purpose relentlessly. Align your life with the purpose God has placed within you. Let this purpose drive your actions and decisions rather than superficial pursuits or societal validations. Be relentless in seeking the divine path that has been prepared uniquely for you. Reflect on your day, make it a practice to reflect each night on what you achieved and where you fell short. Consider these evenings as opportunities to recalibrate and refocus on God's promises. Invite Him into your reflections, seeking clarity and forgiveness where needed. Rise to fulfill the vision. Commit daily to taking tangible steps toward fulfilling the vision God has imprinted upon your heart. Realize that these acts of commitment are not just steps on a personal path, they are echoing contributions to a larger, divine narrative. Living with divine intention. As this segment concludes, let the weight of your calling anchor you in a life lived deliberately. When the world tells you to follow its transient whims, remember that God's plan for you is everlasting and filled with promise. Allow your spirit to be moved by the heavenly download, and let it guide you unerringly toward the extraordinary life God designed for you. Stand firm in your faith, recognizing that this journey asks for courage and tenacity. You are here for a reason, chosen to carry a sacred flame into the darkness. May each day find you stepping boldly into the destiny prepared for you, void of regret, brimming with divine promise. This segment of Ascending Knowledge encourages you to continue walking the path of enlightenment, embracing the call with confidence and conviction. Until next time, rest easy knowing you are cherished, seen, and called for such a time as this. The activation. As you carry this message into prayer and reflection today, consider where you felt isolated or misunderstood. What part of your calling have you been resisting out of fear of what others might think? Reflect on where you need divine strength to persevere and where you need clarity to discern the next steps. Carrying the calling means carrying the cross. When you wake, let this truth echo in your heart. Allow it to be the anthem of your journey through the shadows and into the light. Remember this part, because it ties back in later in a way you won't expect. We are living in turbulent times. Echoes of uncertainty reverberate through society, casting shadows on the bright moments we once took for granted. In these days, the ostrich spirit runs rampant. People bury their heads in the sand, seeking refuge in the temporary comforts of cocktails and the latest distractions, desperately trying to silence the whispers that hint at a shift in the atmosphere. But you, chosen ones, feel the difference. You hear the undertones, the subtle yet persistent call beckoning you to rise above the chaos. The system works tirelessly, trying to herd all the sheep toward the collective pen. But more and more black sheep are awakening, realizing that at the end of the line awaits not comfort, but a slaughterhouse disguised as safety. The call to rise, it's time for the chosen ones to come out from among them. Inspect the lives of those you admire or idolize. Look beyond the external appearances, delve into the internal workings, exploring what drives them at their core. Understand their choices, not to judge or elevate yourself, but to gain insight. Ask yourself, seeing this person's life from the inside out, would I truly trade places with them? If the answer is no, acknowledge the work before you. Do not allow yourself to be swept along with the herd simply because it is comfortable or because you fear judgment. Let those who choose to spectate do so. Commentary is their role, their choice. But remember, it's not your burden to carry. Let the spectators commentate. That's literally their job. Like the bathroom attendants ensuring cleanliness at intervals, there's an appointed time for scrutiny and shade to be thrown your way. Why fear the whispers of others when you know within your soul that there awaits a destined moment of activation and ascension? The system never dies. IT just mutates. Resilient and adaptive, it preys on conformity and wears the disguise of progress. Yet you, armed with insight and purpose, can navigate this landscape with divine clarity. Wait until you hear what God showed me next. The courage to stand apart. Be courageous. Let your journey be guided by authenticity and truth. As you engage in self-reflection, probe deeper into your purpose, evaluate your circle, surround yourself with those who elevate your spirit, support your vision, and challenge you to grow. Release toxic ties holding you back or those who sow doubt into your calling. Commit to self-discovery, pursue knowledge and spiritual insight. Resources abound that nurture your mind, body, and soul, whether in sacred texts, scholarly works, or dialogues with mentors. Allow these to illuminate your path. Anchor in your identity. In each step you take, anchor yourself in the truth of who you are in God's sight. Psalm 139 verse 14 reminds us, "I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made." Embrace this unwavering affirmation. The strength to forge your path. Stand apart from the crowd with quiet confidence. You are designed for a holy purpose, and your life is destined to impact the world. Remember that in moments of doubt or fear, God's promise remains steadfast. He chose you because you are resilient, adaptable, and uniquely positioned for this time. Conclusion: rising to your calling. As this movement of activation unfolds, know this moment is yours to claim. It calls you to rise, to embrace your uniqueness, and to resist the limitations that this world, this system, tries to impose. Your journey requires courage and conviction. It's a path not paved by the masses, but carved by the divine spark within you. Trust this inner calling, allow God to lead your steps, and take solace in knowing you are not alone. Here's where it gets deeper. You ready? Stay with me. Call to action. If this revelation stirred something deep within you, a recognition of your own journey, then know this scroll was meant for you. Subscribe and walk with us. Together, we stand alongside you, chosen, seen, and charged to rise in this time of great awakening. Let these words fortify your spirit as you prepare to step into your divine role with conviction and courage. Remember, you were chosen because you wouldn't fold. Take this mantle with reverence and rise, for the time of awakening is now. These videos resonate with you, not merely because of clever hooks or enticing visuals, but because they speak to a part of your soul that was forged before the foundation of the earth. Deep within you lies an understanding, a connection to a purpose that transcends your immediate circumstances. What we're building here isn't just for us. It's for the remnant, those who refuse to bow to Nebuchadnezzar's idol, those willing to stand firm in their truth regardless of the pressures exerted by societal norms. Do not be deceived. Before the end takes place, many more turbulent events will unfold. The scriptures forewarn us of this, teaching us to prepare for the storms ahead. We will hear of wars and rumors of wars, illustrating the chaotic landscape of a world in flux. Yet even amid this turmoil, there will be more time before the final reckoning arrives. Reflect on your actions, so you have to ask yourself, what were you doing while the world was ending? Did you party to escape the crushing weight of depression? Did you pop pills and numb your senses, choosing to ignore the spiritual gravity tugging at your heart? Did you retreat into isolation, hoping that if you kept to yourself, things would magically improve? Or did you pick up your sword and shield, charging into the fray, fighting for something greater than mere self-preservation? Before you answer, reflect on your ancestors, the quiet warriors who came before you. Consider those who ran miles searching for food, those who fought and died so that you could have the opportunity to live a life of liberation and purpose. What would they think of your current demeanor? Are they looking down on you with pride, grateful for the way you conduct yourself? Or are they bearing heavy hearts, wondering if their sacrifices were in vain? The weight of legacy, your actions and choices ripple through time, affecting not just your present, but the legacy you build for future generations. The sacrifices of your ancestors serve as a sacred foundation, strength that reverberates in your journey today. They endured hardships, faced trials, and pressed through moments of despair, all for the hope that their descendants would rise and persist through the storms of their own era. In this regard, you become a conduit for their legacy. By choosing to stand firm in authenticity, to engage boldly with challenges, and to remain committed to the calling you've been given, You honor their sacrifices and continue the fight they began. This is no longer a lecture. This is now a mirror. A call to action for the remnant. This message is an urgent call to action for the remnant, a clarion call to awaken your spirit and reclaim your power. The time is now to reject complacency and step into action. 1. Dive into your purpose. Engage actively and intentionally with your life's purpose. Align your actions with your values, prioritizing what truly matters over fleeting distractions. 2. Build a supportive community. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals who share a commitment to elevation, growth, and purpose. Forge connections that nurture and uplift you, creating a formidable support network for your journey. 3. Engage in battle for truth. Do not shy away from confronting the shadows of complacency. Equip yourself with spiritual armor through prayer, fasting, and self-reflection. Prepare to challenge the status quo, bringing light to where there is darkness. 4. Honor your ancestral legacy. Carry the torch held by those who paved the way for you. Recognize the strength embedded in your lineage and dedicate your life to living in a manner that would make them proud. Every decision you make can honor their sacrifices. Conclusion: you are not alone. As we conclude, remember that you are not alone in this battle. The weight of your ancestors rests upon your shoulders, urging you to rise and fulfill your divine purpose. You belong to a legacy of warriors, a remnant bent on resisting the idolatries of society and embracing the truth of who you are. This has been a vital segment of Ascending Knowledge, Wisdom for the Divine Mind. As you step into your future, let your actions reflect your calling. Until next time, stand firm, remain vigilant, and continue to rise in your truth. If you're still here, you're not just watching a video. You're part of a remnant. This was a download from Ascending Knowledge, but this mission goes deeper than one upload. If you want more spiritual fire, hit Ascended Spiritual Lectures, where we break down prophetic vision, dream decoding, and spiritual warfare. Subscribe now, not because I asked you to, but because something in your spirit recognized the signal. We're not just uploading content, we're embedding escape routes. I'll see you in the next video. We move as one.